Yes, good morning, good afternoon, everyone who is watching our fifth video for the learners. Today, we are talking about anatomical landmarks, the important anatomical landmarks. On our fourth video, we talked about surfaces, and we are building from there. Surfaces of different teeth. We said the surface of a tooth towards the parrot, we are calling this surface, we call it the palatal surface. The surface, the one we use it for chewing, this one on top, we call it occlusal surface. The surface towards the cheek, that is the buccal or buccal surface. The surface towards the lips, that is the labial surface. The surface towards the tongue for the lower teeth, that is the lingual surface. We say that for the anterior teeth do not have a surface, occlusal surface, but they have incisal edges. So from there, we are continuing to anatomical landmarks. Anatomical landmarks, we are saying for a tooth, we have anatomical landmark called a cusp. A cusp is a major elevation on the occlusal surface of a premolar, molar, or canine. It means it is not for what? It is not found. A cusp is not found on incisors. Because for them on the occlusal surface, there is what? An incisal edge. Just as flat as you can see it, incisal edges. But for the canine, molar and premolars, they have. So the major elevation on the occlusal surface. So this is a cusp, and this is a cusp, and this is a cusp. So you can identify, for example, I can say for the lower molars, they have 5 cusps. For the uppers, they have 4 cusps. And I can say, for example, for some teeth, for example, a premolar. In some books, they shall tell you a premolar is a bicuspid. A bicuspid meaning it has 2 cusps, and a canine is a cuspid because it has only 1 cusp. In our practical exam, you shall identify a tooth, and they will be able, the next time I will ask you, identify specimen X. So if you spy specimen X, you shall be able to tell me why they shall say, give reasons. So you shall say, maybe it has this number of roots, this number of cusps. So number of cusps are very important. We shall talk about the description of each tooth, and each tooth you shall find it has specific number of cusps. Thank you so much. Elevation. We are saying an elevation of on the occlusal surface or occlusal portion of the crown, which is one of the primary centers of ossification during tooth formation. It is what you call a lobe. What is that? Whereas this one was a cusp and this one was a cusp, the whole of this one is a lobe. The whole of this is a lobe. Meaning it shows as if it was a formation of many lobes that formed this tooth. For example, it can show as if this is a lobe, this is a lobe, and this is what? A lobe. So all these are showing they are what? Formed lobes. They are joined lobes that formed what? This portion of a tooth. The next one is cingulum. Cingulum. Cingulum, we are saying it is only convexed on the cervical third of a lingual surface of incisors and canines. If at all we have this as our tooth, we can have the lower third, the middle third, and the upper third. This middle third is the one what we call cervical third. So we are saying it is a convex. A convex meaning as the tooth goes down, expanding. From up here it is an incisor edge, but down of course is a cingulum. We are saying this is a convex. A convex means as we are coming from the incisor edge, it is growing bigger and bigger before it becomes a root. So where this part which is expanding from this side and this side join, it forms something like a convexity, and we are saying from here this is what we call a cingulum. For people who are doing maybe root canals, the moment you perforate or you enter into this one, you shall enter the root of a tooth, either an incisor or canine. If you are going to go into the root, maybe to do root canal preparations, you may not enter through here because there is no, it is not important. The moment you enter from the cingulum, it is very fine. So we go into developmental growth. We are saying it is a shallow line denoting evidence between the union between the primary parts of a crown or root. In other words, when we have for example, molars, there is such a shallow depression showing that there was this part and this part. This is what? Developmental growth. When we talk about dental caries, we shall also find that dental caries are also, this part here is so significant because you can have food retained there. In other words, for molars especially, they will always have developmental growths. We have another one called mamelon. Mamelon are not very common, but usually we are saying the moment there is tooth eruption, especially permanent teeth, after they are newly erupted, you shall find something like this. Those are mamelons. But due to occlusion, due to biting, the mamelons will soon after wear away. So it is only found in newly erupted incisors, but after they will move away or go away due to friction. Then we have what we call a ridge. We talked about a cusp. Which we say it is a major elevation on the occlusal surface. This one and this are cusp. We said this is a cusp and this is a cusp. We said the whole of this is a lobe and the whole of this is a lobe. But a ridge is this linear elevation. This is a ridge, this is a ridge, this is a ridge, and this is what? A ridge. The last one is the fissure. When we talked about the surface of a tooth, especially posterior teeth, we said it is the surface of a tooth, occlusal surface is not flat. This is what we call occlusal surface. The upper part of a tooth, the occlusal surface. This one is occlusal surface. When you look at the occlusal surface, it is not flat. It is made up of those lines. So these lines here, these are fissures. Of course, they make also lobes, but these are what? Are fissures. We are calling them the linear fault in the enamel. resulting from incomplete union of different lobes, because this is a lobe, this is a lobe, this is a lobe, but those lines here, those are what? Are fissures. When you look at it critically, inside these fissures will form pits. So inside the fissures, they will make what? Pits. Those are, for example, on a view from the side, this is going to be a fissure, and this is what will be what? This is a lobe, this is a lobe, and this is what? A pit. So these are fissures, and these are what? Lobes. So the last one is anatomical crown and clinical crown. What is clinical crown and what is anatomical crown? Anatomical crown, we are saying this is part of a tooth. This is part of a tooth, or this is a division of a tooth above the cervix. We talked about last time that we have two major parts of a tooth, where we have enamel that covers the crown, and the root and the cementum here which covers the root. But there is a part here, the one we call cemento. This is the enamel, and this is what? The cementum. And this part here we call it cemento-enamel junction. Cemento-enamel junction. Cemento, cementum, enamel junction. And this is what we call a cervix. So we are saying from here to here, this is the enamel, and this is what we call a crown. A crown is formed by what? By the enamel. And this is anatomically, this is the part which is called anatomical crown. Anything above here, it means that even if you remove a tooth out of you extract a tooth, what we find above the cemento-enamel junction is the crown, or anatomical crown. And what is below the cemento-enamel junction, it is anatomical root. So we have anatomical crown above the cemento-enamel junction, above the cemento-enamel junction, and anatomical root is below the cemento-enamel junction. Now, as we continue in our medicine, we shall find that due to different reasons, a gum may swell. Because around here, in a normal gum, we expect a gum. We expect our gum around here. But due to different reasons, for example, you can take some medication. After taking some medication, this gum may swell. You can have different diseases of the gum, and the gum becomes inflamed. You can have a foreign body that traumatizes this gum, as we shall see on the next videos, and it traumatizes this gum and it swells, or it gets inflamed. So as it gets inflamed, it increases in size. That is one. In another way, when it is supposed to be like at this level, we can have a scenario where due to different reasons, this gum goes down below the expected. We call it gingival recession. We call it gingival recession, where the gum recedes or goes down at the level where below the level of cemento-enamel junction. So that is why we are saying that we have something called clinical crown and clinical root. So when that one happens, when it swells in our first picture here, when it swells, whatever we see above the gum, this is what we call clinical crown. Clinical crown. And below, what we do not see is the clinical root. The same applies here. When we have gingival recession, what we do not see here is a clinical root. Then what we see is a clinical crown. In other words, we can have changes between a clinical crown or a clinical root, but we cannot have a change in the anatomical crown, anatomical root. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to like our videos. We are going to continue describing each tooth in our next video. How many crowns how many cusps it has, how many roots it has, so that the moment you extract a tooth, or the moment you are given a tooth in your practical exam, you're able to identify that this is maybe a molar because of its 2 roots, or because of its 3 roots, or because of its number of cusps or grooves. Thank you so much for watching.